welcome you to our high school fall concert. You will hear a variety of songs on our part tonight. We're going to start off with a song called River Run by Carl Stroman. It's an original, so it's probably something that you haven't heard before. It's a nice, soft, quiet tune to start out with.
Sing hallelujah,
Veterans Day in mind. Next Wednesday we will be honoring our vets and participating by singing this song for our Veterans Day program. You will hear in it an original tune at the beginning, and towards the end we incorporate Beautiful for Spacious Skies, which I think all of you know. So if you know it, feel free to join with us.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, ring Tonight's fall concerts. 4 very different tunes for you tonight also from this band. The first one is by Richard Strauss, who originally wrote for orchestras back in the 1800s. It's a fanfare, so it's certainly appropriate that we do this as our first tune. The name, and when I passed it out, the kids took a look at me like, what? Also sprach Zarathustra. Okay. Translation, and so spoke Zarathustra, which is a woman's name, okay? Still doesn't help you, I know, that's okay. A lot of you will recognize the tune when you hear it, because it's one of those fanfares that's used for a lot of different things. We're going to open this concert with Also sprach Zarathustra. Commented in the fall, our senior high group's choir and band go and do a clinic with some other schools. Ours is next week, and just like the choir one, we have to pick a tune from the Wisconsin School Music Association list. And in this particular case, the one I chose for the band is called Overture for Winds by Charles Carter, and it's one of those tunes that's been around for a long time. And it's still a very solid piece of music, and still got some very technical problems with it to work out. And I got to say, one of the challenges to this band is we only have 10 seniors that are here full time. There's only 24 of this band that are juniors and seniors, which means most of this band is freshmen and sophomore, which means, you know, it's a real challenge to bring those young people up to the level of performance that we expect here. So, and this tune certainly has done that. It's a typical overture. Fast beginning, slow, center, back to the fast beginning at the end. I hope you enjoy Overture for Winds. is Veterans Day. And one of the things that we do here at Lincoln is that we do programs. Typically around, I want to say, second hour for the junior high, and then another one about fourth hour for the senior high. By the way, the public is welcome. I want to say it would be about 10:30 start for that one. So this next tune I actually got from Barb Olson, who's the band director at Black River Falls. And it's called A Salute to Freedom. And what it is, it's a medley. Okay? As I said, we were going to be doing 4 different, entirely different tunes for you tonight. This one is, starts out with a little bit of Stars and Stripes Forever, about that much. Then it goes into America the Beautiful. Then You're a Grand Old Flag. And it finishes up with My Country 'Tis of Thee, arranged by Andy Clark, A Salute to Freedom. They've had it for a little over a week. Okay, so we're not talking about something that we've been working on all fall. We're talking about something that you actually have to just read, which is one of the things that we're looking for. So we're very pleased with that. Meanwhile, on to a fourth and, actually, let me do a couple announcements. For those of you that have children that don't tell you when the next event is until very, very late, there's some of you out there, I can tell. December 21st, that'll be the next senior high concert for choir and band, so you can put that on the calendar when you get home, and you won't have your youngster telling you about Tuesday or Wednesday, oh, by the way, we have a concert Thursday. What Thursday? This Thursday. Okay. So, thank you for coming out this evening. We're going to finish with a tune called Regenesis. And this is going in an entirely different direction. This now is picture painting, if you will. Okay? Subtitle for this is Song of the Planet. Genesis, of course, is the creation of life. So Regenesis, the rebirth, if you will, of life. It's taken from the Mount St. Helens eruption a number of years ago. And for those of you that watched it on TV like I did, of course, the thing that caught us immediately was the incredible devastation. The wildlife and people that lost their lives, and it was just a barren nightmare for a long time. But amazingly enough, if you went back there now, today, you'd find out that it's recovering. And the animals have moved back in, and the plants are growing, and it's part of a natural cycle that our Earth has gone through many times. And so what this is it's done in a couple of different sections. The first section is called Vistas. Simply think of looking out at this gorgeous scenery of mountain ranges and snow-covered peaks and the rest of that stuff. That's the beginning, that's Vistas. The second section, turn the page. This is what happens when you don't practice this part of it. Okay, come on, roll on. Here we go. Now, part number 2, warnings. Okay, if you watched that thing happen and when they resurrected, they talked about it afterwards, there were signs that this was going to happen. And so you will hear signs that things are not going so well here either, okay? And we finish the warning and it gets really loud and nasty, and then you're going to hear part 3, cataclysm, which is a fancy name for saying the end of the world, okay? When I told the band they got to end the world, by the way, they thought that was pretty cool. The fourth section, void. Immediately after the eruption, when there's almost nothing there. It's just totally barren, okay? And then finally, the last section, renewal. You get to hear some of the earlier melodic lines come through and let you know that, you know, we're bringing this back and we're returning to normal. Regenesis by John Higgins.